Hello, you are most welcome. Yeah, it's Henry, the computer guy, and in today's video, we are going to be working out UNEB subsidiary ICT 2014. But our main focus is going to be on paper 3, and specifically, this video is going to be about Microsoft Word. So, without wasting any time, let's first of all create a folder that is going to be holding our content. And how are we going to do this? We are going to be locating any free space onto our desktop. Right click onto our mouse, come and select the option that says new, then we select our folder. And having selected our folder, of course, we have to give it a name. For example, I'm going to be naming it UNEB 2014, specifically paper 3. So after that, you press enter to allow the command. But as well, you can drag this folder to any location of your choice if you feel you want. And having created that folder, of course, we have to look through the question that we are going to be attempting. And I've already designed it below, so you're going to be having a look at it right now. So having opened our question, this is the question. Let me scroll down to where we have that question. And it is actually saying, using a word processor of your choice, type the document below as it appears. That means that we have to type it into this format that we are seeing onto our screen. Then they are saying that we should save our document as our name and personal number. So I'm going to be using my name as Henry, let's say 001 as my name and personal number. Then later we can be able to make the changes or the typing the way we have them here. Let me first of all minimize this and create that document. So remember, I told you there are different ways you can open Microsoft Word. For example, you can search for it. For example, if I type Word, of course, they are going to give me Microsoft Word, but I can work with any version of my choice. Let me say I'm going to be using 2010. I can open it. Then later, I can save it. Or I can begin typing, then I can save the document later. So we can do any of the options that we feel we want. But for my case, I'm going to save it from the beginning by coming to the option that says File and coming to the option that says Save. And having clicked on Save, of course, I have to look for my folder where I'm going to be saving my document. Remember, we created it onto the desktop, so I'm going to be selecting my desktop. Having selected desktop, I'm going to be selecting my folder, which was UNEB 2014 paper 3. Then I'll select it. And after selecting it, I'm going to click on the option that says open. And having opened, I have to give my document a name. They told me I have to save it as my name and personal number. So I'm going to be clicking here for this information to go away. Then I type my name, for example, Henry, let's say 001. So I click onto the option that says save. But before you click on this option, make sure you're inside the folder that you've created. Click on the option that says save. And having clicked save, I can as well be able to close this or minimize this to see whether it is already saved into my folder by opening my folder and see whether it is in there. Of course, it has been saved into my folder. So now I'm good to go. I can open it, then start doing my work the way they want me to do it. For example, remember, we are going to be typing the whole of this document the way it is up to here. Then later, we can be able to make the changes together. So let me begin typing this document. They're telling us that we have a heading, and I guess this font is somehow bigger. It can be at least 14. So the path to a wider access to telecommunication service. This is what I'm going to type first. So let me go back to my document and type the heading. Of course, it is the path to wider access to let's say telecommunications services. So this is the heading that is at the top here. So what I'm going to do is to put it in the center because this is in the center. So, and I think the font is Times New Roman. So I'll come and say, put it in the center. Then I can highlight this. I make it, I give it a bigger size, for example. I think it is this. Then I can make it bold. I can as well change the font, which is Times New Roman, because when you look at the question here, this font is Times New Roman. Then after doing that, I'm going to type this. For example, here there's a full stop. We didn't put it there, so I can put it down there. After that, to go to the next line, I'm going to be pressing enter onto my keyboard. Having clicked enter, of course, I have to put it to the left hand side because this is where I'm going to begin typing from. So I can as well ignore this, the path to wider access to telecommunication service. So I'm going to be beginning typing my document. So they're saying that telecommunications reforms, telecommunications reforms, telecommunications telecommunication reforms. But what you should notice is that this information is not bold. So we are going to remove the bold. So highlight this, then you remove the bold. Then after, you continue with your work. Reforms have led to more competitive, have led to more, have led to more competitive, competitive, let's say competitive markets in any of the countries, in any in any of the countries studied. So what we are going to do is to pause the video, then I type everything, then we come back and make the changes together. So finally, we are done with the typing of our information, and actually this is how it looks like. When we come back to the question, I think it is similar to whatever we are having here. So this is what we are exactly going to be having this side, and I think it is similar to what we have here. So now we are going to be making the changes together. Let's read through the questions. They're saying another question that is copy and paste the text to the next page of your document. That means that we need to insert a blank page, then copy that work and paste it onto the next page. So let's come and do that right away. And having come back to our page here, we are going to be selecting this information from the top up to where we stopped typing, and I think it ends there. Then come and click onto the option that says copy or Control C to copy. Then after, we are going to go below our document, then insert another blank page. Then finally, we come and paste this work here by coming to the option that says paste or Control V. So now we have two copies of the document. We have the first one here. We have the second that we have just copied here. Let me just right click and ignore this one. So that is what we have for now. Let's go back to our question and see. They're telling us that change the heading to uppercase, font size 16.5, and we put it in the center. Now we are going to go back to our work. We change the heading to uppercase. This is capital letters. We put a size 16.5, then we put it in the center. So when we come back to our heading here, we are going to be selecting it. And after selecting it, we have to change whatever they have told us to change here. For example, we are changing it to uppercase. Let me come back here, and we are going to be changing the case. We come to the option that says change case, and after, we come and select uppercase. And having done that, we can as well remove this information. We can select it again, then we come and choose the size they said. The size is going to be 16.5. We come here and look for 16.5. But remember, we have 16 up to 18. We don't have 16.5. What we are going to be doing is to come to this section, wrap the 14 which is there, and type the size we specifically want. Then press enter. So it will take that size that we have given it. So that is what we have. Then we put it in the center. Of course, it is in the center. If they said right and other sections, we could come to the alignment and make the changes from here. Now, let me come back down here. They're saying that in the insert a footnote is the provision of telephone services to phones which may move around freely rather than stay fixed in one location on the word telephony. So we come into our work and look for the word telephone, then we can be able to insert a footnote. When you look through this work, it can be difficult for you to see that word, but you can as well use the shortcut, for example, Control F, and type that word there such that you can be able to see where it is. Telephonic. Of course, it is somewhere here, and I think I've seen it. So what I'm going to do is to highlight it. So I can even remove this because I've already seen where the word is. So I'm going to be selecting this. Remember, we are going to be inserting a reference, and that is the footnote. So come to references, and having come to references, you're going to select a footnote. And having clicked on the footnote, of course, we are going to be adding this what that they have given us here, which is the provision of telephone services and others. So let's type that there is the provision of telephone services, the provision of telephone services to phones, which may move around freely, which may move around freely, rather than stay fixed in one location. So that is what they wanted us to put there. But remember, let me see, when we come back to home, remember, let's come back to our question. From telephone services is underlined, so we come and underline that. Telephone services, we underline that. So we put, then another one, phones are underlined. We also have to make that underlined. I will come back to our question and see move around freely, then fixed. Move around freely. We make it underlined, then fixed. Sorry, we highlight fixed, then we give it this. We can as well change the font style because we already changed this to Times New Roman. Can even just give it that. So that is the footnote that we have inserted into our work. So let's come back to the question and see what they are telling us to add on. So they are saying that insert your name and personal number as a header. So come back to your work. Remember, I told you can insert headers in different ways. For example, by coming to the option that says insert, then you can pick the header. If it is a footer, you pick the footer. If it is page numbers, you pick page numbers. And now I can also use another way to put the header or the footer. For example, if I want to put it on the top here, I'll just come and double click, then I'll type my name. Henry, let's say 001. So remember, it will go on all other pages at the top. If you wanted footer, then you would come and double click at the bottom, then it will also go to other pages. So we've added the header to our work. Another question is insert the word telecommunications as a watermark with a size of 54. So we are going to be putting a watermark with a size 54 into our work. So let's come back to our work. So for us to put a watermark, we are going to go to the page layout, and under the page layout, we are going to be choosing watermark. Then we have to customize it. Remember, they have given us what we are supposed to put there, but these are already there. This is confidential. Do not copy. They have not told us to use this. So we have to put in our own. That means that we have to customize it to our own. So click on the option that says custom watermark. And having clicked on custom watermark, it can either be a picture, you can select the picture that you want, or it can be text, but they said it text. So I'll come and say select text. Then in the option for the text, I'll come and put in the word they have told me, which is telecommunication. It was, let me see, it was telecommunications. So it's what I'm supposed to put here. Telecommunications. Then the size, they told us to choose the size, which is 54 54. So it is here. You can even choose either these options if they have also told you to work with them. Even the color can as well be chosen from here. For example, if they told me red, if they told me horizontal, diagonal, semi-transparent, I can as well be able to work with it here. Even the font here can as well be changed. For example, I can say Times New Roman. I select the Times New Roman from this section. After that, I can click on apply, then close this. So our watermark now comes to our work the way we have it here. Let's come and read the next question. Include page numbers whose format is alphabetical, but they have not told us anywhere we can put the page numbers. We can choose on our own. So alphabetical letters at page numbers. Let's come back to our work. We go to the option that says first of all, insert, and under the insert, we come into this section where we have the header and footer. We also have the page numbers. But before you insert the page numbers, you have to first of all pick the format you're going to work with. And they have told me alphabets. So I'll come and select the format. So format page numbers, I'll come and choose the alphabetical letters. They didn't say either uppercase or lowercase, but in case they say uppercase or lowercase, you choose that option. Come and say okay. And after choosing that format, remember they are not going to come just like that. You have to choose the location where the page numbers are going to be appearing. For example, when I come back here, I can choose either top, I can choose either bottom, I can even choose in the margins or current position. So let me choose a bottom section and I'll be putting them into the center. Finally, they have appeared here just like that. So that's how we can put the page numbers A and B. So I can close this. So this is what we have for now. Can make this a little bit small so that we can be able to see whatever we are having. So let's read the next question and see. They're telling us that we are supposed to print our work. Let's come back here. After doing that, don't forget to save. Remember, I told you keep on saving your work because you never know, power might go off, then you lose all your work. So it is a good idea to constantly keep on saving your work on every step that you do. So after that, we are going to be printing our work. Remember, I told you come to the file, come to the option that says print. And having come to the option that it says print, you come and choose the number of copies you want. You choose the printer you're going to be working with. You never know, you might be having a lot of printers on your computer. So you choose the type of printer you want to work with for that moment. You can either choose the pages. They have told you all pages. It can be a current page, or you can even put a range of the pages that you want, either 1, 2, 4, like that. You can as well be getting that. You can also print on one-sided, on both sides. You can even choose the collated. You can even choose the orientation. You can choose the size of the page and so many others. So after doing all the changes here that you want, you click on the option that says print. Then finally, your work will be given to you out of the printer the way it is. It is what you see is what you get. So finally, we can now end our question from here. Let me close my work. And remember, we had saved that work into our folder onto the desktop.